You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers.
It never really dawned on me to address this, but I think that this is the perfect time to do so. Is WWE racist against black wrestlers? Now, this has been on my heart for years. Back when my uncle used to watch, back when Ted DiBiase had a black guy alongside him, pretty much his butler. We can go all the way back to the late 80s. I'm an 80s baby, so I'm gonna take it back to the 80s. You can probably go further back, but for the longest time, man, I've never ever seen a era where a black athlete in the WWE or F ever climbed to the heights or the legend status that any other mixed race, pure breed, or whatever. I've never seen a black wrestler excel to that extent ever. And it always made me wonder, like, how come we've had Asian champions, we've had Arab champions, we've had white champions multiple times. We've had Indian champions, but when it really came to putting respect on a black WWF champion, it was never with the same level of respect. Think about this for a second. Kofi Kingston, he had a run. But the minute he got in the ring with Brock Lesnar, he was absolutely destroyed, decimated. I think about Farouk. I think about Bobby Lashley, Mark Henry. They've had their runs, they've had their fair shots, but they were never really appreciated, in my honest opinion. If you look at Mark Henry, right, he had like 20 different characters. They had that man in a love affair with like a 80-year-old woman, had him in homosexual situations. It wasn't until he embraced the whole of pain that he was given any type of respect. And then, from what I'm understanding, that wasn't even supposed to survive as long as it did, but it did. And they didn't even give that what it deserved. Mark Henry was a jobber. He lost more than he won. When you think about the Hall of Fame, Mount Rushmore, is there one black person on yours? R-Truth runs around like a fucking idiot, acting like he has ADHD or Alzheimer's or he's artistic or some shit. And he'll tell you he does it because it's fun and he enjoys the comedy. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, you really can't enjoy this shit. They got you looking like a fucking idiot. No one will ever take him serious. And he's probably going to leave the company retired, never having touched that gold. Now, some of y'all are probably going to say, well, Sasha Banks was a champion. Bianca Belair was a champion. Right. Well, for one, they're women. And mostly I don't care about the women's division. Even though, for as far as I'm concerned, the women's division is probably better than the men's division. Of course, I haven't watched in years. But this is about how they treat the black culture. Ahmed Johnson and all of them. Every group that I can think of, every faction that I can think of that involved black wrestlers, they were either they start out strong and then they end up completely destroyed by horrible writing, turning them into circus animals, or you have somebody like Triple H or Hulk Hogan who comes out of their mouth, probably behind scenes, and completely says, look, I'm not really, no, I don't want to work with this. And I really believe that a lot of them are covert racist. You got Jacqueline. You got Jacqueline, you got Jazz, you got Farouk, you got Ahmed, you got R-Truth. There's a few people that I'm missing, but the point I'm trying to make is I really don't think that the WWE is very fond of black wrestlers. Why or how come in every era it's always been a white wrestler that's been either the champion or competing for the championship? It's always been focused around the white counterpart. It's always been either you're white or you're a foreigner. And then you sprinkle in one black person, but you know they're not winning shit. It's always been that. It's never been a era where there was just nothing but black people surrounding the titles. It's always been white, Hispanic, European or something. Am I lying? Am I lying about any of this? Name me one era where there was a black faction or an intercontinental champion or a heavyweight champion or European champion that had 5-6 people in line that were all black competing for a title consistently. You can't. Even if we take it to you trying to say, oh, The Rock isn't 100% black. Neither is Roman Reigns. None of them are completely black. They're not, like, if we been nitpicky, no, they're not. So, my honest opinion, I think they are. Now, you might have another argument. I would love to hear your argument. If you got something that disprove what I said, go for it. But I absolutely believe 1000% that they are. Hulk Hogan got away with that shit, and you see what happened when he tried to come back. Just my thoughts, though. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. Am I lying? Am I wrong? You don't see them on wrestling covers. They're not really the focal point of main events or any of that shit. But that's just my opinion.
Merry Christmas, filthy animals. And a Happy New Year.